Peter Dutton into Defence, Marise Payne continues as Foreign Minister. What are the challenges that lie ahead for those two ministers?
Well, Dutton is a First Division player in the government, and this is the first time Defence has had a First Division player as Defence Minister, since before the election of Kevin Rudd. And the problem for Dutton is he doesn't have very long between now and the election, and Defence is the most complex department of government to run, bar none, including the Treasury. But Linda Reynolds, a very fine person, did a shocking job in having zero profile, and as a result, a government which is behind politically has a tremendously good national security story to tell and a very urgent task to get greater strategic weight, and nobody, just a complete vacuum over the last 2 years. So specifically, Dutton has to recover the lost reputation of our central defence capabilities, namely the submarine program, the Joint Strike Fighters. Because the government has been silent, all the nuts and fruitcakes have come in and dominated that debate. And there's tremendous hostility to our subs, which is crackers. He also has to hurry Defence up. Defence was very comfortable under Linda Reynolds as Minister. But when Defence is comfortable, that's a bad sign. Defence needs to be in a hurry. We've got to get a move on. And he has to project a strategic narrative. And if the government wants to win the election, he also ought to do some things which Labor finds it hard to support. Why not invest in some Tomahawk missiles? Why not start manufacturing some Tomahawk missiles and see if the Labor left likes that, and maybe even polarise a few issues before the election in national security, which ought to be a lay-down misère automatic winner for any coalition government. But bizarrely, we've had two national security ministers who apparently took a vow of silence over the last several years.
And just a minute left, Marise Payne, as part of this new combination, she remains in the job, but do you want to see a more public profile, basically, from her? She did very well with the Prime Minister this week. I think most people would say she's a very competent and articulate minister, but just that her profile needs to increase.
Yeah, it's not just profile. I mean, all the ministers are competent in their way. She did perform well with the Prime Minister, and I praised her for it. But on the other hand, it's a bit like when Australia's Test cricket team couldn't find an opener for love nor money, and if anybody played an innings of 27 runs, including one cover drive, they were hailed as the new Don Bradman. I mean, Julie Bishop put in performances like that every day of the week. So did Alexander Downer and Bob Carr and Gareth Evans. You need a foreign minister as well now in these new political circumstances as a Minister for Women's Affairs to be, guiding the Australian public debate every day of the week. This shouldn't be a miraculous rare sighting. It should happen all the time. I mean, the government has had no women's brand, and yet it's had two women ministers in the key national security portfolios since the last election. So Marise Payne must radically and dramatically lift her public leadership performance. The other day with the Prime Minister was good, but where was she this last 6 weeks when the government was bleeding over the women's issue? And of course, she needs to lead and polarise the debate in foreign policy.
Greg Sheridan, talk to you soon.